Lesson 13.3, Understanding Hour and Minute Hands. Today we're going to be focusing on a clock that looks like this. Clocks that look like this are called analog. Analog. Pretty easy to remember, isn't it? In my head, I always see a little girl sitting on a log. Analog. It means that the clock has a face and usually has numbers or dots, and it has hands. Now, some of you in your homes have microwaves or stoves that have a different kind of a clock where it just shows numbers, dots, numbers. Those clocks are called digital, and those are very easy to read because we just say the numbers that we see. An analog clock is what we are going to be learning about in this lesson. We need to be able to look at the hands and say the numbers, okay? All right, now I've got a little story to tell you. I'm going to put my analog clock over here because we're not going to use him right away. We'll wait for him for a little bit. Okay, on an analog clock, we have sometimes three hands. We have the little hand, which is the hour hand. We have a very long hand, which is the minute hand. And then sometimes we have a really long, red, skinny that goes really, really fast. That one is called the second hand, okay? All right, now you already, I see the wheels turning, everybody. The hour hand tells what hour of the day it is. The minute hand tells how many minutes past the hour it is. And the seconds, well, everybody knows that one goes really fast, and that counts seconds. Now we're going to start from the bottom and go up. And we're just going to talk about how many things are in an hour. Remember yesterday how we talked about how many coins were in $1? Well, we kind of do that for a clock. Seconds are kind of like cents. It takes a lot of them to fill up an hour. Minutes, that would be like a dime. Those take up a little bit more space in an hour, okay? So we're going to build from the bottom up. Seconds. Does anybody know how many seconds are in a minute? Oh, thank you, Wes. Thank you. Yes, the answer is 60. It takes a second hand all the way around for 1 minute. Okay? How many minutes are in 1 hour? Absolutely. Another answer of 60. There are 60 seconds in a minute, 60 minutes in an hour, and the next one, how many hours are in a day? Ooh, this one could be tricky. Now I'm going to show you the front of the analog clock again, and do you see that there's a 12 up there? So how many hours are in one clock? Right, there are 12 hours on a clock, but how many would be in a whole day? Kaysen, you're going to go with 24? Yes, have you ever heard that? 24/7, 7 days a week, 24 hours are in a day. So all you math children out there, how many times do the hands have to go around, the hour hand that is, how many times does it have to go around to make up a whole day? Thank you, I heard that. Kaylin, very good. The hand has to go around, this hour hand has to go around 2 times around that whole clock to get to our day. Because we can have 7 o'clock in the morning, and we also have 7 o'clock at night. So do you see how sometimes we have the same number 2 times? it's going to go around the clock 2 times. All right, I'm going to erase my second hand. The second hand goes way, way fast. And today we're going to focus on the hour hand and the minute hand. All right, now I know that you want the minute hand to be the most important because he's really long and skinny and he just looks like he should be important, right? Well, actually, the hour hand is the most important. The hour hand is the big boss, okay? The big boss, he gets to sit in his office, he gets to relax, and he gets to boss the minute around. Now, the minute, he's got to go around the whole clock. The minute hand has to go around all the numbers, and the boss only has to go one number. Now, I want you to think about this. The big boss, yes, he's short and fat. That's because he eats Cheetos all day. He puts his feet up on his desk and he eats Cheetos. He is big and fat. And he only walks from here to there in 1 hour. It takes him 1 hour to get all the way to another number. But look what the minute hand does. While the hour hand is only going one number, the minute hand has to travel all the way around the clock. That's why the minute hand is so tall and skinny. He has a lot of exercise every day. Okay? All right? Now, because the big boss is the big boss, he gets to say the big numbers. The minute hand, no, no, no. The minute hand never gets to say the big numbers. Never, ever, ever, ever. No, no, no. Only the big boss says the big numbers. Okay? That's pretty easy, isn't it? Okay. Now, big boss, he only says the big numbers. He never says anything else. And he always comes first, okay? The big boss always says his name first because he is the most important, okay? Now, the worker bee, he's our minute hand. He gets to go second. All right, now does he ever get to say the big number? No, never. He never says the big number. He says the little numbers, okay? Now I'm going to erase this. All right, he's going to say the big number, okay? And the big number is always really big on my clock, okay? Do you see that? So the boss always says the big number, and he goes first. And even on a digital clock, whatever number is first on your digital clock, that means this number. Okay? Big number goes first because he's the boss. He tells the hour. The minute hand comes next. Now, do you see, let's go real close. Do you see that there's some little knobs? Each one of those little knobs is a minute, each one. So I'm going to pull this really close. 60 minutes is way up at the top. That means if the minute hand goes all the way around, he has traveled 60 minutes, which is 1 hour. Okay? So that's where we get 60 minutes in an hour. This hand has to travel all the way around, and he hits 60 times before he gets to the top. Now, very closely, can you see that we don't usually say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We usually count by fives. Now, do you see there's a little circle on each one of my big numbers? They're all counting by fives. Can you see that? Let's count by fives. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 30 is very important. 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. Now, when we get up to 60, this is another trick of the clock. We never say 60. What time is it? Oh, it is 7:60. No, we don't ever say that. We always say o'clock. Okay? So can you see if I write down here? When it gets up to 60 minutes, we never say, and my clock right now is at the 9, so we would say 9, but we would never say 9:60. I've never heard anybody say that. Have you? No, you've never. 60 minutes is the same thing as saying o'clock. All right, o'clock. Now, do you see that I have a little tiny apostrophe there? Because a long, long time ago, somebody decided that this word really, they used to say of the clock, of the clock. And they took out all those letters, and now we just say o'clock. 60 minutes, which means the top. When my long, skinny hand gets way up at the top and it's pointing up, we never say 60. We always say o'clock. Okay? So let's try that. Say the boss first, 9. And if the hand is going up, we say o'clock. 9 o'clock. All right, now the minute hand's going to go all the way around. And now it comes right back up to the 60 again. Now what time is it? Start with the boss. 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock. Now we're going to sing the song. And let's see, I think Teacher Tipster, he likes 4 o'clock. Okay, 4 o'clock is a great time. All right. When the big hand's pointing up, then you know it's 4 o'clock. But when the hand goes around and it's pointing down, it's 4:30. And you know how he scratches his beard? We're going to do that every time. Now, look at my clock. Do you see how it's right in the middle between 4 and 5? Is it on the 5 yet? No. So the boss can't say 5 yet. He still has to say 4 because he's not quite on 5. And remember, we say the boss first, 4:30. Okay? Now the clock is going to keep on going, and look at the big hand. He's going to go all the way up to the top again to the 60. And where did the hour hand land? Now the hour hand, the big boss, is on 5. So what will the big boss say? 5. And what does the minute hand say? If the hand is pointing up, it must be 5 o'clock. Okay, we are going to end our lesson today. I do not want you to do the paper, okay? I'm giving you a day off from doing your math paper. I just want you to watch the video, and you can go back and watch Mr. Smith on teachertipster.com. Sing the song again with him, okay? All right, we'll see you tomorrow. And tomorrow we will do the math lesson 13.3 again, but tomorrow we are going to do the worksheet, okay? All right, bye.